deal is going here. All right, here we go. We're on our way, everybody. Get ready in 3, 2, 1.
Attention, sons of Sanguinius. This is Inquisitor Jost von Marburg, acting on behalf of the Holy Ordo Xenos of Terra. Stand to and prepare to receive new orders.
You bugged my cactus.
The morning stream, the morning stream, the morning stream, the morning stream, morning stream, morning stream.
The morning stream. We just wanted more fish. They wouldn't give us any more fish.
Morning stream, morning stream, morning stream.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the morning stream. It is TMS for Monday, December 2nd, 2019. I'm Scott. He's Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Scott. Hello, people. Hello, listeners.
Welcome to December. How do you feel about that?
I'm all right with it. Wow, is it December already? Where did the year go?
Yeah, went real fast. We got like 4 weeks and then we're done. 2020, this weird thing from only like sci-fi movies and stuff.
I know, but it'll be like a whole decade, right? Like it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of fun when you start a new decade.
Isn't technically the new decade doesn't start until the end of 2020 though? Like if you're really doing the right math, like you
I
go
don't know.
from.
I mean, how do you figure? Because I know what you're saying, right? Because you don't
Right.
start counting until 1. You
Right.
don't start counting with 0.
Yeah. So you count
But-
with 1, which means you don't get to 2. Or I'm sorry. Yeah,
Please
you don't
finish
get
the
if you start if you start with 0, you don't get to 1 for a whole nother year, and that's number 1. So that's 1. And technically,
I mean, when you're talking centuries, that's exactly the way it is, right? Because
Yeah.
21st century doesn't start until, or didn't start until. Is that right?
I think
Didn't
so.
start
It
until
started until
2001.
let's see, after AC. No, AC
Oh,
is alternating current.
Right.
AD
Yes,
is what I meant.
2001 was the.
So Jesus died, and then they went, all right, starting it off, guys. 0.
But the question is more like, oh yeah, here we go, math again. This is where it does get fun. But no, see, the way I consider decades to be the 0 to the 9, because you're changing the second digit.
Oh, I see.
You know, that's I millennials or millenniums and
Yeah.
centuries and things like that, because you have to count them. We don't say, hey, welcome to the 202nd decade.
Right. We don't take that year off simply because there's a 0 there.
Right.
You're totally right. Yeah, I'm with you. That's how it should be. I know some people get up in arms about it, but there's no reason to. It's dumb. Just accept the fact that we have a new decade starting in about a month. It's kind of a big one because 2020 was when all the promises were made. We're supposed to have,
Oh, that's right. Where's our wall?
Yeah.
Where's our
yeah. Where's the
our healthcare? our where's everything?
I didn't mean those things, but that's cool too. Those are cool. I like those.
Oh, I thought that's the. Oh, you're talking about like flying cars and stuff like that.
Sure,
Oh.
or even like just recent stuff like, hey, in 2015, I was told that VR would be the size of like regular, glasses like these. That didn't happen yet. How about 2020 is the year I have a fully autonomous car in my driveway? That didn't happen
Right.
yet.
No, but you could.
Well,
I mean, you could have a self-driving car in your driveway.
technically that's true. Practically, it's nearly impossible. But yes, because none of those are approved for roads yet, right? You can't get an autonomous car. There's no such thing. Like I can't
Tell me
go
what you mean by autonomous.
a car that runs itself, 100% runs itself. Those are not even legal yet. Those are legal for testing, but they're in certain areas, but they're not a thing you cannot take.
Right.
An
We rode
autonomous
in.
car.
Tina and I rode in one in Vegas, an autonomous car that was basically like it was a Lyft, but beyond a self-driving. I mean, I guess it was a self-driving car, but
It'd have to be one
but
that
it wasn't
was like,
one where. What is it? One where like, okay, I'm on the highway now. I can flip it into self-driving mode. This is like, nope. I've programmed it to take me where I want to go. My hands are on the wheel purely as a safety measure.
yeah, and I don't even have to program it. I get in it and I say, and the robot goes,
sure.
"Where would you like to go today?" And you say, "Take me to 4th and 8th." Okay, sit still and enjoy, or whatever, and then you just go. That was promised, damn it! That didn't happen.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I don't have that yet. What else don't I have?
We're so close though.
We are kind of close, actually.
And really, flying cars. I feel like I feel like there's a lot more than the technology that needs to be worried about for flying cars.
Oh,
You
yeah.
think we're bad on the roads? Imagine when we have all that 3D space up there. Right now we're driving basically on 2-dimensional,
Right.
on a road. Now we got 3 dimensions to crash into people and things.
Yeah,
and each
it
other.
seems like
Yeah.
a bad, or it seems like it's going to take an adjustment if we ever get there.
Yeah,
maybe,
exactly.
maybe. See, we have to perfect that on the ground, so that cars that are autonomous, and some are still confused what that means in the chat.
Right.
Chat room, the word autonomous means by itself. It doesn't need you. So that car
the
could
name
rebel and go somewhere on its own and leave you in the dirt because it doesn't care
It's the
about you.
name of the goat man in The Witch and the Lion, the Witch and the
Yeah,
Wardrobe.
that's
We
the
know.
one.
We know that's what autonomous is. Yes.
Autonomous,
Mr.
the little
Mr. Autonomous. Yes.
who we learned is a horny goat or whatever those things were.
No, but you know what? I see
Yeah.
where you're going with that. You're 100% right. That would be, instead of saying, all right, well, now we're going to get people in flying cars and we've got to master this whole flying around in flying cars, and then we'll worry about autonomous flying vehicles. No. Just go straight to the autonomous flying vehicles
Yeah.
and say, all right, I need to get from here to here. And it communicates with all the other flying vehicles and says, all right, this guy's going from here to here. It doesn't go through any of your flight paths. Okay, great. We're going.
Yep. And then they'll be able to adjust if something went wrong. Like there's one in the flight path. It knows to stop. It knows to move around.
Right.
Like all of that stuff has to happen. I just don't think we're gonna have it for now.
I don't think it's gonna be
Everyone's gonna
long
say, "Hey, 2030. Yeah, 2030 is the big year." We'll see.
I honestly don't think we see it in our lifetimes.
All right. I think you're right. Bums me out a little. I feel like we should have been there by now, but whatever. Who am I? Who am I to make?
agree.
Who am I to criticize the natural flow of technology and
Right.
advancement?
Oh yeah. No. Hey, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying I don't want to see it, but I don't think we will see it.
We'll all be dead. All right.
Yes.
A couple quick things. You know, when I told you how by the way, thanks everybody for coming out Friday. That was awesome. We had a great time.
Oh, it was such a great time. Yeah.
Yeah. Later in the show, I got
Scott,
some.
I think we should do it. I think we should do it again.
Yeah, we may even have a little announcement about.
Oh, you
an
moved
idea.
that to the end of the show.
I did. But it's okay. It's okay because nothing wrong with little tease up top. Stick around to the end, everybody. We got a little something to tell you. It's
Ooh, cool.
exciting. Yeah. So I told you about how I saw the Knives Out movie, their Knives Out film.
Great movie.
Yeah, and I loved it. And it was great. But here's the weird thing I forgot to tell you about, and I guess it's probably good because we can just save it for the show. After the movie ended, I headed toward the men's room because I had to pee real bad,
Sure.
and got to the men's room there, and there was a line. And I said, "Oh, well, this is no good. This is no good." I said in Seinfeld
Wow,
voice in my
okay.
head.
Oh no, that's no good.
This is no good. So I said, I'm going to go find the other one. So we went to go find another one, and that one was fine. There's hardly anybody in there. I get in there, 2-3 people are in, 2 of them leave. There's one guy left and me, and that's it.
Okay.
I do my business. I go over there to wash my hands, and I notice that the entire time I've been in there, there's a guy and is like, I don't know, he looked like he was probably 63 or something.
Okay.
He has the small bucket of popcorn, the little one, not the big jumbo monster one, but like a little
Bag
bitty.
or a bucket?
It's a paper bucket, and it's the size of
We don't have paper buckets at AMC. It's small paper sack, large, medium paper sack, big tub.
So they have this. It's similar here, except I don't think they have the bags. I think that's the replacement is these little tubs.
Gotcha.
And this is a paper tub as opposed to the big one you get, which is plastic, and you can bring it back with you and get discounts, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we
So-
don't even have the plastic tubs. We only have the paper.
Well, in
tubs.
this case, imagine your paper one shrunk down, and
Okay.
that's not the one you keep bringing back. It's just the one you have the one time, and then you're supposed to. I mean, you're supposed to toss it. You're supposed to be done with
Yeah.
it. This guy is in there, just meticulously and carefully just cleaning his little tiny tub out.
Really?
Yeah.
Cleaning the paper tub.
Yeah. So he's in there, a little bit of water.
Theater bathroom.
Yeah, a little bit of water, a little bit of paper towel, scrubbing it on the inside, looking at it like this, doing like this up in the light, and then he'll rinse it out a little bit, look at it again. He turned the blower on it. It was like blowing
What?
it dry. Yep. And he looked at it again. He was like looking at it from all angles. And by the time I got out of there, he was still in there working on his little tub. I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't have an explanation for this guy or what he was doing.
Well, I wonder what. Okay, all right. So let's break this down.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
All right. So, proximity wise, if he was going to be taking the tub home to bring back for his next movie theater trip,
Right.
then he would just wash it at home, I'm guessing.
I would think so. Just take it with you in the car, take it home, wash it. If you're going to wash it at all,
Right.
it's paper, so I don't know why you want to get it wet, but yes.
I mean, unless you're really worried about washing it and you bring it back, but they won't even refill it. Like
No.
they won't refill. You can't give it to the guy behind the counter. Okay, how much do you want in here? Yeah.
Right, they don't do that.
Would you like our butter mix?
There's no refills on the tiny tub. That I know for sure. It's meant to be a disposable item. Somebody in the chat says OCD. Maybe.
Sure.
I mean, maybe the guy's just such a clean freak that he just couldn't handle an oily tub. I don't know.
I can't even figure out what you reuse that for if they're not going to put more popcorn in it. Are you hoping to take it somewhere else and have somewhere else nearby put something in it?
Right. I mean, look at the worst case. Him or somebody near him
Yeah.
barfed in it. You just throw it away. Okay,
Yeah,
that doesn't make
right,
sense why you clean it.
exactly.
All right, so let's think. What else? He's got to use it home for it. What would you use it at home for?
But if you're going to take it home, why not wash it at home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
We-
he was
we
going
went and saw-
to make a little
by the way,
planter
we-
or something. I don't know what he was going to do. Anyway.
I think I mentioned this on Friday. We went and saw Midway.
Yeah.
So I can't really use that as my Monday morning film review, but I do have one. And we got the big tub of popcorn.
Yeah.
We ate about half of it. We refilled it on the way out because it's the big tub and they put a sticker on it that says free refill.
Yeah.
And it's still sitting about 3/4 full on the counter upstairs. And every time we walk by it, we grab a couple pieces, we throw a piece to the dog. It's like I don't know how long you're supposed to.
I don't know
how long
either.
you can enjoy popcorn, but we're going on about 4 or 5 days
I
now.
kind of am with you on that. And also, this is where my wife and I have had an occasional clash because I'm of the belief that if you're going to get the refill and take it home with you, which you do sometimes,
Yeah.
that you're meant to eat it. What she'll
Yeah.
do is we'll get it home. 2 or 3 of us will have 1 or 2 handfuls. And then next thing I know, that thing's dumped in the garbage. And I'm like, Kim,
Yeah,
what are we
right.
doing? Why are we even being at home?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it gets gross after a while. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It gets great after a while. It gets oily and great.
Depends- Well, I was gonna say it depends on how much butter you use because the butter starts breaking it down after a few days. We didn't put any butter on it, so it's just got a little bit of butter salt.
Oh, see, that's not bad. Then it won't start to decay in
It
the way
doesn't
the
start
other
to
does.
decompose or sog up or anything like that. It's I don't know.
Mm.
I had some. Yeah, I walked by it yesterday. Had some. I hate to say it, and maybe this is a saying not good things about the movie theater popcorn industry. I think it was just as good as it was on Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that stuff just lives forever. It doesn't die.
Yeah.
You could throw it out and it'll feed some, feral dogs for months or
Right,
something.
I think so. Yeah, and Daisy loves it. Like this is the stuff we just throw in the air. She jumps up and catches it, and she loves it. So
Oh, that's
she
awesome.
does not care. She's like, "Don't you ever throw that thing out? I'll finish it."
All I picture is that glowing green thing. From
I know the
Futurama.
glowing.
You do it so
I
perfectly.
need to watch that episode because now it's
When you do, you totally should, because when you do, you'll be amazed at how dead on your impression is of that thing.
Wow.
And you didn't
Wow.
even try to do it. You don't
not
even know
even
you're
try to
doing
do
it.
it.
Exactly.
No,
Somebody on that team did that voice, and they went, "Oh, that's perfect. Do it for the weird ethereal, other dimensional ghost thing or whatever it is."
right.
And they just nailed it, and then you did it by accident. It's crazy. Anyway, all right. So that happened. I don't know what's going on with that bucket of popcorn, but I hope he's enjoying it still. I hope he made a little plant out of it or something. Maybe he's growing pot in there. I don't know what he's doing.
Maybe, but still, again, if he's cleaning it, it's much easier to clean it at home than to do it in the movie theater bathroom where you've got limited cleaning ability, like cleaning materials.
Right. Right.
Plus, it's paper.
I
Come
know.
on.
It's
I mean,
paper. It's
You have
paper.
bowls at home, right?
Oh, and I forgot to say, he had a creepy grin the entire time. I forgot to mention that. He sat the whole time. He's like this,
Really?
just grinning
Okay.
away. Like, yeah, I know. It added to the mystique.
That's a new wrinkle.
I don't know what to think about it.
I don't know. I feel like there's something nefarious going on with that bucket.
Yeah, it's got 2 eyeballs and a finger in it right now, for all we know. All right. I found out something over the weekend also. I can't believe I had time for any of this, actually, given our schedule on Friday. But
Yeah.
I think Mendoza, I think I subconsciously stole it. And I didn't, the whole thing with that I named the goose that, and I'd say you got to get Mendoza, that whole thing. I
Yeah.
think I stole it from The Simpsons and didn't realize it.
I thought we not really stole. I thought it just came from like every '80s cop.
That's
they're
what I
going
thought.
after the Colombian drug runner whose name is Mendoza. And
That's what I thought. But I mean, and that's what The Simpsons is doing in this thing I found. So you're not wrong, because the joke
Okay.
is that, but it's real specific. So I'm in season 4. I'm doing a rewatch on Disney Plus. Just kind of they're playing in the background,
sure.
and I hear this. All right, so here's McBain, a scene from a McBain movie. Homer's in a video store, like a Blockbuster type store, and he's watching the screen, and this is the movie that's playing.
McBain,
Yes.
I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, stop talking crazy.
No. Just do one thing for me. Get Mendoza.
Mendoza!
So he literally says, "Get Mendoza," and then
Get Mendoza.
McBain yells Mendoza as loud as he can. I know that this has come up before because people have said to me, "Didn't The Simpsons do something like that?" And I was always like, "No, I don't remember that. What is that? I don't know what you're talking about." I think that's what it was.
Subconsciously came from that. It certainly could have, but I mean, again, McBain is a parody of '80s cop stuff as well. Like it's
totally, totally, yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, so it's it could have been from there. It could have been from any number of things. I mean, heck, West Wing and Orange Is the New Black both have Mendozas.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. And one of those Mendozas is Admiral Adama, who flies the Galactica.
And the other Mendoza is a woman-doza.
Oh yeah, Womandoza. Womdoza. All right, you do have a Monday morning film review though.
I do, yeah. So yesterday went to see Honey Boy, which is just getting great reviews and great buzz. People are saying, yeah, this will be, if they do 10 movies in the Oscar Best Picture category this year, then this will be one of them. This is the Shia LaBeouf deal.
Oh, I thought this was
He-
a superhero, like a DC hero, Honey Boy.
Honey Boy. What's Honey Boy?
What's his power? What would his power be?
Able to stick to the roof of your mouth.
And
No,
he-
that's Peanut Butter Lad. Dang it.
He keeps bees. I think that would work.
That's right.
Anyway,
Dude, this is I've never been a big Shia LaBeouf fan.
you covered
This,
them all there, by the way. Well done.
Yeah, exactly. I've given every pronunciation. However, this redeemed him for me a little bit, actually quite a bit. This is, and I didn't realize this going in until the end credits were rolling, but I'm guessing this is like a semi-autobiographical story about his life.
Oh.
Growing up as kind of a younger actor, child actor, doing commercials and movies of the week and stuff like that, and then kind of getting into drugs. I guess Tina said, yeah, he had this horrific car accident years ago and had to go to rehab, and which I didn't remember at all. But believe it or not, there's actually, and it's the very first set of lines in the movie, there is a reference to him going, no.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
It's the very first thing you see in the movie is this character Otis, that is the central figure in the film. But you see him in two different stages of his life, as a little kid and then as an adult. And boy, the little kid actor in this is amazing.
His name is
trying to figure out-
Noah Jupe. Is his name?
That's the kid, yeah. And who? What else has he been in?
I
'Cause
don't
this
know.
Kid was, this
Let's
kid
see.
was fantastic.
He's got
Holy cow!
He has a very familiar look to his face. Oh, he's the kid from A Quiet Place. Played Marcus.
Okay, there we
He
go.
was great in that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's amazing in this too. Holy cow! And he talks in this one.
Oh, he's in a ton of big stuff. Like that new the Ford versus Ferrari deal. He's in that. This kid, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well done, kid. You're doing
Yeah.
okay, kid. Well done.
So,
Anyway.
but anyway, it's about him and his life with his father, who's kind of raising him in this crappy motel apartment thing, kind of spending all of his money but not being as much of a dad as just being like a bro, as being like a chauffeur, an employee, everything.
And he's
Anyway.
played by LaBeouf.
And he's played by LaBeouf. Yeah. LaBeouf
James-
plays the dad. And so then at the very end in the credits, you see like pictures of Shia LaBeouf and his dad who's this character is like, oh wow, okay, this is like semi-autobiographical. I read afterwards and thought it was fully autobiographical, but they did kind of add some things to make it a little bit more dramatic. But
Sure.
holy cow, it's really good.
That's interesting. He wrote it. It turns out. I didn't
Yes.
know that. Didn't
Yeah, but
direct
didn't
it. Some
didn't
other
direct it.
dude. Emil
A woman.
Hirschberger.
A woman,
Oh, it's a lady. Okay.
It's a lady
Okay. Let's see. I'm just trying to
with
find.
the nuttiest IMDb photo ever. I can't remember her name. Emil.
Oh, look at that. I found the tomato rating for it. Doing very well. 93% across the board, both viewer and critic. I can't find her name though. Where's her name? Honey Boy. I can't find her name.
Well, I'll tell you.
Anyway.
It's directed by Alma Harrell.
Alma Harrell.
Alma Harrell.
All right. Sounds legit.
And she looks like she's wearing the in her IMDb photo. She looks like she's wearing the coat of many colors.
Nice. She's wearing casino
Yeah.
casino carpet. That's my favorite looking.
It kind of looks like it does look like she's wearing casino carpet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the chat room too.
That's pretty awesome. Well, very cool.
Anyway, so very good, worth seeing, and the reviews that it's getting are justified. It's excellent. It's a lot like, it reminds me a little bit of The Room.
Oh, with the
I'm sorry, not The Room, just Room.
right? with the kid, the awesome kid in it.
Yes.
Can't remember his name.
shoot,
Bork
I had it.
Lathorpe. Bork Lathorpe. Is that his name?
Bork Lathorpe, exactly.
Yep.
But also a little bit of like Moonlight. I don't know. It's really good. Really worth seeing.
All right, I'm into it. I look, LaBeouf for all his do it and all his other stupid crap. I know he can act because I've seen him do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's fun to watch when he does it and it does it well. It would be
It's just if he could just get rid of all the other stuff around it, the do it, the paper bag on his head thing that he did, the weird Sia video that he was in.
Yeah, I don't like that Sia video. That thing creeps
Maddie
me
Ziegler.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. Although, I don't know. Did you hear what Sia did over the weekend, over Thanksgiving? Did you hear about this? It was great.
No, what'd she do?
So she shows up at a Walmart with not her wig on, right? So she's out of her persona. She just looks, because if you've seen Sia, she just looks like me or you. She's just a lady.
Oh, yeah, I mean, before, the 2 or 3 albums before she started doing the massive wig and stuff, I mean, it was just her on the cover of her albums.
Right.
And
she just
music
looks
videos.
like a standard ass person, right? Like and it's 100% cool. In fact, I really like that she does. I think it's normal and great. Anyway, she just shows up at a Walmart and just starts buying people's stuff, and no one knows who she is, because she's not wearing the wig, and you wouldn't know her in a crowd because Sia looks like everybody. So that was pretty cool.
Was it in Australia she did this?
I don't know where it was. It was a Walmart, so I assumed in the States, but maybe not. Maybe it was in Australia. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do they have
I don't know if
Walmarts there?
I don't know if they have Walmarts in Australia.
Oh.
And where's Gidget or
Yeah.
Lucy? Either Gidget or Lucy could help clear this up.
They got married, so.
I guess Lucy's in Kentucky. Lucy.
Oh yeah, Lucy wouldn't do it. I mean, it just seems like we never hear.
Lucy from Kentucky.
We never hear from one without hearing from the other. So I'm starting to wonder.
That's right.
Maybe they're together. Anyway, go see it, Honey Boy.
Go see it. Worth seeing.
Yep, the boy of honey.
That's right.
Does the dad call him Honey Boy? Is that where the name comes from?
That's he calls him that nickname once or twice. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not like Ladybird or Ladybird.
Yeah, Ladybird.
Ladybird, right?
Yeah, Ladybird.
It's not like Ladybird where they're calling her Ladybird throughout the film. You only hear Honey Boy once or twice.
Well, speaking of that Ladybird lady, who's the director there? Greta Grunberg. Gerwig.
Greta Gerwig.
Yeah, she's doing that Little Women remake.
Yeah.
Saw the trailer for that while we were watching Knives Out. That looks like it could be legit good. So
It does.
yeah. I think she has a new rule. I only work with Saoirse Ronan, no one else.
That's right. Well, she's found her muse.
I guess
think
so.
That's,
Yep.
that's the way to do it.
It's like Tarantino finding Samuel Jackson.
Exactly.
You
I mean,
are.
yeah.
You're Greta Gerwig's Sam Jackson. Well done. Good job. Oh, I don't know, Jeannie. It can be done. I think there's a whole generation of people who have no idea what Little Women is. They would love to see
and
that.
when was the last movie version, the film version of Little Women.
Long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about a made-for-TV thing either.
Little Women film. We're gonna find out.
1990. Oh, 90. There was one in 1994. Really?
94. That's still pretty long ago. That's 26,
That is.
25, 26 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 94 was the last movie.
And that looks like it was modernized. I'm looking at the Winona Ryder, Gabriel Byrne, Samantha Mathis, Kirsten Dunst, Claire Danes.
I think
Wow.
it was still
Do Kristen Dunst and Claire Danes appear on screen at the same time, proving that they're not the same person?
Yeah. I mean, I used to think
Christian Bale, Eric Stoltz.
yeah, it's big. It's a big deal. I remember this coming out.
Oh, this was period. Or yeah, okay, this was.
It is a period piece. Just that cover makes it look like it's a Christmas movie or something.
It makes it look like it's a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
A Hallmark Christmas movie.
It really does. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started. I saw Kim was watching the worst one of these yesterday. I don't even want to talk
Was
about it.
Danica Patrick in it?
No, but may
Oh,
as
sorry,
well
sorry,
have
not
been.
Danica Patrick. That's the racer. Danica McKellen.
Right. I keep mixing it up too. The racer lady and that lady. I get them mixed up. Anyway, so yeah, just it's fine. 26 years. That's a long time between that Jeannie. Yeah. I watch them because they're on. Kim's in there watching them, and I happen to be there, and she's in the middle of it, and I can't help but comment. And then she says, "Get out," and then I leave. That's how it works. All right.
By the way, here we go. 1917, 1933, 18 there was one, 1949, 1994, 2018, and 2019. Seven adaptations of Little Women.
Hold on, there was one last year?
There was one last year. Where was this made? I don't recognize any of these. It stars Sarah Davenport, Ellie Jennings, Lucas Grabeel, Ian Bowen, and Leah Thompson. And Leah Thompson as the big woman.
It's probably a made-for-TV BBC 4 thing or something.
I think so, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, chat room. They're getting such a boil when I talk about these Hallmark movies. Oh, well. What are you going to do? How about...
It's funny.
Yeah.
It says when it was released, it says in the United States and Canada, Little Women was released alongside Smallfoot, Night School, and Hellfest.
Hellfest.
I don't remember. I do remember. Okay, Smallfoot was that Bigfoot animated deal.
Oh. I heard that was all right, by the way.
Yeah.
I heard that was a thing that was a thing to not miss. It was okay.
Well, it's probably, I'm sure it's streaming since that was last year, so.
Maybe our guest knows. You guys, welcome to what we like to call Babble Royale, starring one Brian Dunaway. Hello, Brian Dunaway.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. And I do like to call me the one and only.
Yeah, you are the one and only. The only one I know. I don't know any other ones. So that's all it is.
Do you want me to save that bubbly bottle cap for you, Brian, that says "Oh hi"? I actually, before I threw my bottle out, I saved that bottle cap. There's a bottle cap from Bubbly.
Yes, please say that for me.
Yeah,
mail it
save
through the mail.
Yeah.
Through the post.
Through the post. Get it in the post. See, look,
I'll
we know what to
I'll
say.
throw a 3D printed Millennium Falcon in there with it.
There you go.
One of the gummy ones that'll hold chew when he gets it. He'll try to bite it.
That's right.
Is this candy? Oh, it's so good.
I always love having you on, but we should mention that you were here for a big chunk of what we did on Friday. Thanks for hanging out with us. That was fun.
Yeah, God, that was so much fun. Thank you guys for introducing me to Drawful. I've seen it before, but I've never actually played it. And it was great experience doing it with you guys live with the audience. That was so much fun.
I could play Drawful any minute of the day. I love it.
No kidding.
Love that game.
was such a great time.
Let me ask you this before we move on here with the plan and get people in here. Do you
Yes.
or do you not like the movie War? And do you or do you not think we should boycott it? Not boycott it. What's the word?
Veto it.
Veto it or not?
Okay, so this is how I feel about War. What is it good for? But the 2007, I believe, Jet Li, Jason Statham war movie. Interesting pick for our holiday good times. But I'll tell you this, right? I'll tell you this. I've already written my intro and all my show notes, but I can always do something else.
Yeah, but what I want your honest opinion, though, whether you think it's vetoable or no.
It's okay. So yeah, I definitely think you have a leg to stand on to say that it's vetoable because
Okay.
it's there's some twist and stuff, and it's kind of
There is a twist.
right. Well, there's a lot of titty twisting going on. Oh, can I say that here?
Oh, too
So
late. You just did.
mostly Statham is getting it.
Ah, sorry.
But it's okay. The movie is okay, but is there a lot to talk about? I guess.
I don't know if that was my question, and also I don't think there's a lot of audio clips from this.
Oh
I
my
think
gosh,
that's-
no.
Oh,
Most
see,
of
and I
us,
haven't.
most of us Jet Li beating people up.
I haven't watched this yet, so that's good to know. And I don't think Randy watched yet because he was stuck in traffic trying to get home from his trip. So my thinking is, if you both had a consensus, I would obviously have no problem with it. My biggest concern would be you guys both consumed it, and I don't want to just go, well, let's just change it, even though you guys were forced
It's
to watch.
fine.
War.
I can still throw my show notes out there for everybody, and I can even record an intro and throw it out there on my Twitter. I'm not worried about losing it.
Yeah.
We can move forward. Just whatever you guys think.
All right. What do you think, Doug?
Yeah. Who was passionate about this pick? Because I don't even know how this got.
None of
I
us.
wonder who could have picked this one.
I don't even know where this came from. I know where it
Did I
came
ever-
from. Wasn't
did I
me.
ever did I ever tell you about the time that I really wanted to watch a Jason Statham and a Jet Li movie, and the only way I could do it was to get these three guys to watch it with me?
I mean,
Don't get me wrong.
I
The
know,
movie.
Randy's listening. I hope this is one of the days. Randy doesn't always get to listen to the show. I hope today is one of the days he's listening
Yeah,
because
I do too.
I say this with
It's good.
I say this with peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
But
yeah.
I, it's not out of the. We've watched movies like this before. I just didn't understand the timing of it. The timing was odd. Like war the first week of December. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I feel
Anytime.
like this would be a bad choice anytime.
Yeah.
We should probably inform him on the thing. So when
Right.
we're done here,
Yeah, so
actually,
then-
Dunaway, do us a favor. Since he and I are stuck on a show here, after this is over, would you mind doing a little group thing in there? And I love that we're taking care of this on the air. This is great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Also, can you fill out your W-9 for us to be able to get you?
Yeah. Also, we need that. We should do that Krampus movie. Is it Krampus?
Now that is great,
Yes.
and that is streaming right now. That's only a couple years old, but it's at least kind of goofy,
Yeah,
right?
it's a Christmas horror movie, right? Let's do
How
it.
can you- and it's got some decent B actors, right?
Oh, if it's streaming, done deal. I mean, our next movie was
War 2.
Clash of the Titans.
Clash
Are
of
you
the
sure?
Titans. Where's our
All right,
Christmas
we need to
movies at?
we need to relook at our list. I think we
Yeah.
definitely do. But for sure, I think Krampus would be a riot. We should do the Krampus.
I don't see Krampus streaming on Netflix. Is it streaming somewhere else?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Not looking at my computer right now, but I'll look just in a little bit. Showing up.
Yeah, do that. You do some looking there. See what you can find.
I'll do some digging.
Fantastic. Hey, we have a caller on the line. Let's find out who this is. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
Hi, this is Chance from Vancouver, BC.
Nice. Always like hearing from the folks up north. It's good to have you here, Chance. Is that your real name or is that just your nickname? But is your
No, that's my real name.
I like that real name. That's a name I like. I've only known like 3 Chances in my life, and I always felt like they took the right ones. Anyway, no, I like that name. It's a good name, and you should always keep it. I don't know why I'm saying all
It's a
this.
good,
Hey,
strong
Well,
Christian name.
hopefully, we meet more chances in our life because I'd hate for this to be our last chance.
meh, I get it. What you did there. All right. Hey, Brian's going to explain the rules about the little contest we're going to play, what you could win today, and how it all works. Brian, take it away.
That's right. I'm going to be giving Scott and Brian Dunaway a topic, and they are going to go back and forth giving me answers that fit that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, they repeat an answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win is going to go to the other player. Your job, Chance, is to predict who is going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for the carryover prizes from last week, God's Trigger, Throne of Lies, the online game of deceit. And I'm adding to it right now, as I say this, I'm adding the game Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. That's right, Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. So you're saying there's
That's
a chance.
actually a very good game. Like legit good game.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
a space RTS thing that I enjoy quite a bit. It's
Oh.
very good.
Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about it later. But Scott, there's a game. I gotta
Oh.
talk to you about it.
Oh,
Ooh,
all
wow.
right.
I can't
okay.
wait to hear about that.
Now I'm on Twitter.
Anyway, so those 3 games will be yours, Chance, if you can correctly predict who's going to win today's contest. This one comes to us from Katavari, another one from Katavari. This one, according to NowBlitz.com, the 15 best-selling toys in history. 15 best-selling toys in history, according to NowBlitz.com. I guess it would have to be adjusted for inflation because, price.
No, so not okay. I was going to ask you, number of toys sold or profitability?
Oh, that's
Right.
a really good question. Let me tell you, because I do have the list in front of me. What is their source on this? Because that also would be really good.
I mean, I assume
I
this
like them
is-
when they're just random website choices. It's like, we've got 15.
Oh, right. Because, Now Blitz, it's just a household name. Oh, yeah, the good old Now
Yeah.
Blitz website.
Oh yeah, Now Blitz.
This does not give me any sort of numbers as far as if the numbers are coming from dollars or from
Numbers
items.
sold.
Volume versus the other.
But,
I got you.
but
So
we're safe. We're safe assuming it's things like, oh, that time everyone rushed to the store and it was on the news that 3 ladies fought over one kind of stuff, right? Like,
right.
Probably. What I'm going to do, though, is give you guys each one mulligan.
okay,
Because,
it's not the sex move you think it is, or Dunaway.
give her the mulligan, just
her
like
the
a
mulligan,
Saturday
see?
night.
The mulligans.
All right, so Chance, knowing that is the topic today, if any of us understand the topic today, who do you want to go first, and who do you think is going to come out on top on this one?
I'm gonna go with Donaway to win and Scott to start.
All right,
Okay.
okay, all right.
Okay, doke.
Now, hold on, let's really quickly agree on the mulligan rules. Are we saying that when you get a mulligan, you get to give your replacement answer right away, or does it go to the other player to do their answer?
Do it right away.
I think it should go
Right
to the
away.
other.
Oh.
Oh, right away. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
well, no.
That's fine.
I would give me your elevator pitch on why it should go to the other guy. What
Well,
do you
just
think?
because the other person may have an opportunity, whereas I guess it makes sense. I guess that's either way. Either way.
What do you think, Brian? You're the
Chance,
net.
a
you're-
chance to steal.
You golf a mulligan, you take your replacement shot
Right.
immediately. You
Right
don't-
then.
you
So
don't,
let's stick with golfer rules.
All right.
okay.
Because we're a bunch of golfers.
All right. Well, I
All
cheat
right.
at golf, so here we go. All right.
Sweet. I only cheat at putt putt.
Nice. All right. I'm gonna say let's get Cabbage Patch Kids out of the way. There. It's got to
All
be
right,
in
let's
there.
get your. And by the way, I'm looking for the top 15.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get your mulligan out of the way.
What?
Yes.
Are you
It
kidding?
was
Oh,
big
I'm glad.
for, like-
I'm glad you went with that because I would have definitely put that in my list.
Oh.
Yeah, it was big for one. It was big for one.
That's a good point.
1 or 2 years, but it's not like the best selling of all time.
Oh.
These are things that you still buy today or that lasted a long time to buy.
Right.
Oh
So-
my gosh, that makes this infinitely harder.
it I don't know. It
I
doesn't,
think
it
it. I
doesn't.
think it makes it. Yeah, I think it makes it different.
Yeah, but
Because
that's the
that
problem
makes
because I
sense,
can think
yeah.
of about 30 things that were like the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Right.
Right. Don't think fad. Don't think fad.
Yeah, and that's
Right,
the
don't
problem.
think
That's all
fad.
I can think of is
Yeah.
fad. All right. And we're not talking about a category. We're talking about a product, like an
Talking about a product.
individual
All
product.
of these things are brands as opposed to well, I don't want to say something, but
Well, it's like a branded item, right? Like it can't
Correct,
just be,
correct.
If I was
It's
to
not
say,
not like kick the can. Like can was big for years and years. It can't be that, right?
That's right, exactly.
oh my gosh, this
Stick
is
and
hard.
hoop. You can't
All right.
have that. That's not a thing.
Like, I have a hard question that may be a giveaway, but it's
Okay.
also I don't have mulligans left. Because I know
See?
one of
See,
them for
now,
sure.
Now you're regretting
You know what?
not passing
No.
passing the mulligan.
Here's
aren't
what
you?
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna private message Brian a quick question.
Okay.
Right. So this will take me just a second.
This is hilarious.
But then he's gonna get a leg up.
No, I just
Well, I'm-
the
I'm
problem
gonna
is
decide,
it's a
I'm going to
brand.
decide if,
You'll answer here, but you'll see if the question is valid.
the question is valid,
Okay.
and the answer, that is a brand, and that therefore that would count.
It
Yes.
would count.
It would be wrong, but it would count. Yes, go ahead.
All right. Well, then I'll go ahead and say it. I'm going to say Lego. Now the problem is I was worried that it would be like the Lego Star Wars set number 5 or something like that.
Ah,
No,
that
the
makes
brand
sense.
is Lego, but you couldn't say something like building blocks or something like that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Right. So Legos number 10 on the list.
Okay.
So
Oh,
we
jeez, that's still too close. Oh.
we're finally actually getting we're finally making some traction on this snowy road.
So I've watched every episode.
Brian, would you like to private message me a guess first for
Right. Yeah. Hey, is this right? So I've watched several episodes of the Toys That Made Us on Netflix.
Sure.
That's a really good. That's where I'm basing myself. But since we're not talking about fads necessarily, I'm gonna go with Barbie.
Damn it.
As being one of the longest running toys. It's gotta be like one of the biggest ones, right? It's huge.
not just one of the biggest ones, Brian, the biggest one, number one on the list, Barbie. She's she's made it a long way without being able to bend her knees. So
You can bend her knees now, though, right?
I think so.
can she? Does she have?
Yeah,
does she have,
absolutely. She's got the little locking knees that go clack, 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 clack,
Yeah,
clack, clack,
yeah.
clack, clack,
Her,
clack.
they have articulation on elbows and knees now, and feet. I think even the ankles move.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and little tiny toes. Ooh,
Sounds-
touch them.
Sounds sounds so creepy the way we're talking about it. All right.
All right.
Okay. I'll just say it's hard because
Because you lost your mulligan,
well, because
right?
I can't just say like I'll say one that I know this isn't going to be, but I could say something like Sony, but that doesn't work because Sony has
No.
TVs and
No.
and
Yeah.
PlayStations and a million other things. So I'd have to be more specific. So I'm trying
Right.
to like
so,
do
so not a company name, but a toy brand name.
yeah.
Yeah.
Product. How about a product that has defined a
we
brand?
go.
How about
Yeah,
product
that-
line.
That,
Yeah,
that's a good example because Lego is that. So that's right. All right.
Because Mattel does Barbie, right? So, but you wouldn't say Mattel.
Right.
Yeah,
you
you
wouldn't say
wouldn't say
Mattel,
Barbie.
you'd say Barbie. Exactly. The
Right.
product line is
Lego's kind of unique in its own weird way.
Yeah. Legos is Legos.
All right, I'll say
They make Duplos, right?
they do.
Yeah, Duplo
The company?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They
for
don't
the-
make Mega Blocks.
No.
No, they don't.
Duplos are for dumb kids, right? Isn't that what they're
It's
for?
like
Is
the-
dumb kids? Is that
Right.
bad to say that they're for dumb kids, or they're fine? They're
Yeah,
younger
Duplo's
kids.
They're for smaller kids.
Oh, smaller kids, not dumb
Oh, yeah.
kids.
Kids could swallow Legos.
Okay, I thought
But
when
the Mega Blocks are kind of like the GoBots, right? They're kind
Yeah,
of like the
yes.
GoBots of
Yeah,
that.
well,
Yeah.
Mega Blocks just get some different franchises. The World of Warcraft stuff was Mega Blocks.
Rusty
and Halo
Nails,
stuff was Mega Blocks.
Rusty Nails.
Mega Blocks.
When I say dumb, I mean like my friend Darren. That's what I mean. All right. I don't want them to get ideas about what I'm not making broad statements about what dumb kids are or how they're defined. All right, Pokemon. I'll just get it out there. Pokemon. Come on.
And there goes your other.
There's not a Pokemon toy. They don't really. If you said Pokemon cards, I could see that, but
Yeah.
No.
the Pokemon toys
Pokemon
themselves.
Okay, are you ready to?
Can I name a few more?
Please
Hold on,
do,
hold
yes.
on. I got to do this for me. All right, go.
I'm gonna go with Gojo. He's got to be
number
up there
7.
high, right?
Yep,
Number 7.
number
Okay. I mean, and they have not stopped since they started. The Transformers have to be up there.
Number 6.
Damn it.
Right. I just threw one of these out the other day, and I think everybody has had one of these just about forever. Easy Bake Oven,
Number 3.
Shit.
and you gotta have right. Everybody I've ever known has owned a Light Bright. Is that on there?
Oh, Light Bright did not make the list, but I'm guessing it's probably in
Interesting.
the top
But you
20,
got a
yeah.
mulligan,
Oh,
so
it's-
go ahead and keep going after your mulligan there.
Just keep going, man.
Yeah.
So another toy would be Hot Wheels. That was
Hot
always
Wheels, number 8.
yeah. So and everyone has had an Etch-a-Sketch.
Number
For
9.
years.
Shit.
And Mr. Potato Head. These are half the Toy Story toys here, right? He's got
Number
to be in
11.
there, right?
All you could do, is basically if you just name the combination of Toys That Made Us and Toy Story.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
And then let's see. Oh, what else would there be? How about the Slinky? Is that in there?
No, surprising. That's one I would have
Interesting.
expected to be up there, but no Slinky.
All right. Well, I would have lost my second mulligan. So there.
Okay, so
there
the
we
other
go.
ones you could have said, Yo-Yo is number 2.
Ah, yes.
Radio Flyer,
Duncan.
the Red Wagon, number 4.
Really?
Right?
Oh.
Silly Putty,
Really?
number 5.
Yeah.
The Hula Hoop, Star Wars action figures, number 13. Rubik's Cube, number 14. And the Super Soaker, of all things, because I guess you buy them
Really?
year-round.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
What
interesting.
did you
Not a
buy
lot of
year-round?
Nerf on there. I was thinking to be some
No
sort
nerf
of
at all, as a matter of fact.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little nerf. There's none.
this got nerfed.
It's been completely nerfed. Wow, that surprises me. All right, well, here's the good news. Okay, there is good news that comes out of me losing, and that's this. Whoops.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Chance, you took a chance on us and you won. Nice job. You really picked the right horse in this race. My gosh, I cannot even say how poorly I did here. It is obvious to everyone. But
Dude,
you win all
that
that stuff.
You need to watch. You need to go back and watch The Toys That Made Us on Netflix.
I've seen season 1. I haven't seen the
Right.
2 or 3, but I'll get in there. I hear the Ninja Turtles are up now on the.
Yeah, it's funny. Season 3 is nothing that I ever bought or played with as a kid.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. The only thing
I'm waiting for. I wonder how many seasons we have to get through until they get till Micronauts appear on the
Micronauts
Toys That Made
do.
Us.
Man.
I'll bet you never is my thinking, because
Probably
Micronauts
never, but
it was such
yeah.
a cool but small percentage of kids
Quick
even knew about
flash.
it.
It totally was.
People
It totally
missed out.
was.
Micronauts was rad. I'm
They were
glad.
awesome.
Yeah. So Power Rangers, Wrestling, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and My Little Pony were the season 3 toys, and
Oh Lord.
I never owned any of that stuff.
My sisters did the My Little Pony deal and Strawberry Shortcake, that kind of stuff. So I would watch some of that just to get, sort of a sidekick out of it. Like, oh yeah, my sister had that or whatever. But you're right. Like I didn't play with any of that stuff. It was all Star Wars figures for me. Once those hit, that was it. Everything else was like, see you later. That was fun.
That dominated our childhoods.
Yeah,
That and He-Man toys.
Yeah, He-Man was pretty
Well,
big. So was for me. Transformers was pretty big. Yeah, it depends on who you were. Power Rangers are for 90s kids. Those 90s kids like their Power Rangers. Anyway, well done, Chance. You did it. And that just means you got to send an email to Brian Ibbett, coverville@gmail.com, and he'll send you your codes. Well done, and I hope you're staying warm up there.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you, Chance.
All right, took a chance on
very
Chance. Yeah, well done there, Dunaway. You did it. We are. What are you talking about? Space games? You're getting all excited about space games. What's going on?
Actually, it wasn't a space game. It was just a game in general. You've played Munchkin, the card game, right?
Yeah. Oh, that
Okay.
new little co-op-y.
Yeah,
oh,
the
we
little,
should play
the little
that.
4-player co-op thing. That thing is brutal, and it is a blast.
Is it
now,
fun?
it's not really a card game. What's
Yeah?
that?
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's kind of like Gauntlet, and you're like in this field where you're playing with 3 other people, and there's modifiers to each round and things you have to accomplish, and it is crazy brutal. It is just awesome. I want to play you with it.
All right. You want to play
get
me
it.
with it? All right. That
Oh,
sounds
play
good.
you-
play
play
you
you
with it.
Is this on?
Play you with it.
Is this on game? It's on Game.
This is on the
Pass.
game. This is on the Game Pass.
Oh well,
for
then
the PC as well as the Xbox.
that means I already have it. Let's play. Let's
You
do
already have it.
All right. Well, we'll get together, come up with a time to stream, and thankfully everybody got to witness us vetoing a Film Sack movie. It's never happened on the air before.
War.
Yeah.
What is it good for? Apparently nothing.
Absolutely
Say it again.
nothing. Say it again.
So
yes.
find Krampus and wherever it's streaming, and we'll watch that.
Yeah, we got to find Krampus or Silent Night or whatever.
Or was it Black Christmas? I think is one.
Black
Oh, that's
Christmas.
new though, isn't it?
I
There
don't-
was
like
an older
last
one.
year.
There was like an '80s one. I think called Black Christmas. or-
I'd be down with that.
Oh, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Is that
Silent
That's-
Night,
yeah.
Deadly
That's
Night.
got to be
dude.
streaming.
That's got to be out there. Come on. What are we even doing? This is Christmas. We got to do. Yes, this is it. This is the right choice. We're making the right choice right here live on the
Here
air.
it is, 1984 Silent Night, Deadly Night. Does not appear to be. Well, hold on, it's taking a while to load.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, nope, not streaming. You can pay $1.99 to rent or $2.99 to rent it, which we might have to do. But
I mean, it might be worth it because it's that time of year, right? Like it's Christmas, like Halloween month. We have to try to go all Halloween.
At least some Halloween.
Yes.
Santa's. What about Santa's Sleigh? SLAY. Is
Okay.
Oh my God! See, there's so many of those bad movies out there. Surely, we should pick one. And we should really do is pick a really sappy one, like on Lifetime kind of thing. That'd be great.
Yeah.
1974 Black Christmas. A sorority house is terrorized by a stranger who makes frightening phone calls and then murders the sorority sisters during Christmas break.
I mean, duh. Come on now.
Starring Margot Kidder, Olivia Hussey.
Wait, what
$50
year?
change your name.
What year is this?
1974.
So this was pre-Superman or post-Superman? I can't remember.
Pre-Superman.
No.
Yeah, Superman was
74?
78, wasn't it? 78?
I thought
think
Superman
so,
was
77?
76.
It's
77?
still both
Close.
of those years are after 1974.
Very close.
Superman.
Andrea Martin is in this.
All right. I love this planning meeting we're having. Let's do it. Let's get some dumb Christmas going for the month, and Jason Statham and Jet Li can sit down for a while. They'll be fine.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Simmer down.
Simmer, sit down. All right. Dunaway, anything else going on this week you want the fine folks to know about? You streaming all the time. When are you doing that next? People can tune in.
I do it Monday, Wednesday, and usually Sunday. I'll be doing it today at 5:30 Eastern Time, or thereabouts. And I'm probably going to be playing some more of that Munchkin, getting practiced.
Well, all right. I just put in our group the words "veto incoming." So that'll prepare Randy for the hard news that we are not doing more. All right, Dunaway. He is the Brian Dunaway on Twitter. Find him there. Talk to him there. He'll like you there as well. We like him there. Brian, we'll see
He'll like
later.
you there.
Yeah, he'll like you there. Christmas Vacation is sackable. Nah, I mean it is, but it's also I watch it every single year.
Yeah.
For real, without any, like in the living room on a giant TV with everybody. Like we make it a point. So I don't know if we would do that. Comedies, we steer from a lot of comedies depending on, there are exceptions, but.
Did we ever watch Jack Frost? A serial killer is genetically mutated in a car wreck on the way to his execution, after which he becomes a murdering snowman hell-bent on revenge for the sheriff who caught him.
No. Let's get that in. Is that streaming?
That's streaming.
Okay. I think we found it. All right. I'm in. Sold 100%.
So Black Christmas, 1974 Black Christmas, and 1997's Jack Frost.
And both are streaming, right?
Both are streaming. Both on Amazon Prime Video.
Then what are we doing? We need to do both of those. That's fantastic. Nice catch. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Bill, or not Bill, it's freaking Steven. That's Monday. It's Monday Day, everybody.
It's freaking Steven.
Freaking Steven. It's our new segment called Freaking Steven.
The Feast of Freaking Steven.
It's a better lyric than the one in there, because I can never say it right. Anyway, so that's coming right up. No Trek Nerd today, I think, because he said there's nothing happening, and so I took that as well, I guess we won't have you on.
Works
but anyway, we got a mashup, we got a big announcement, some other stuff coming up, so stick around for all of that. In the meantime, Brian's got music. He's going to play it now. Brian, what do you have?
Yep, you know how I've been getting a lot of these great Australian musicians lately? I'm fine with it. This guy reminds me so much of and all of a sudden Bastille, like vocal-wise and style-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Very Bastille sounding. Also Ed Sheeran, Lauv, and Bazzi, B-A-Z-Z-I.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's name is Kyle Bryant, but he performs under the name Kai, K-Y, or Kentucky, if you're, American and you're abbreviating it. His brand new single is called Gravitate. This is excellent. You're getting a taste of it. Just came out November 29th, so just came out Friday. Enjoy it. Here is Gravitate by Kai.
First thing you do is you wop that teat. You get that rag up and down that cow's teat. And you make sure it's clean. I don't want to have any residue that possibly fall into your bucket. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a nice hot rag and you're going to scrub the hell out of this teat. This cow's going to like it, okay? She's going to like the feel of it. She's going to like to be clean in her teats. Boo 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 banana.
The Morning Stream. Strong enough for a man, but made for Brian Ibbett. I can't believe you made me say that. You're mean.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back. You're going to want to clean that teat. Get that rag up in that teat.
That Ernest Works on the Farm? Is there like a long lost prior to his death Ernest movie that never got
what would that be called?
Released?
Ernest goes to milk?
Goes to the farm. Ernest on the Farm.
Ernest on the Farm.
Called.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a search history thing. It's just people in the chat. I wouldn't want to see his search history. It's not that. It's just I'll hear something, sometimes randomly somewhere. Sometimes, like I heard something in a hotel room once on a TV, and I went, oh, I got to track that commercial down. It's perfect for the show. And I'll do that. I'll track it down until I find some video version of it someplace, and then I'll cap the audio. So that I'll go to lengths, man. Lengths to get stupid audio for the show, including this.
Boo 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 banana.
All right. Makes no sense. All right. Hey, we're here now for the Steven. Let's get that happening. We'll get him in here.
Cool. Yeah, please do. Please get him in here. Get him in here.
You'd think I'd get good at pre-adding people, but I always forget until the last second. 18,000 episodes later, I'm still dealing with it. All right, here we go. Let's play this just to sort of ring it all in here.
Steven.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Steven Schleicher from Hays, Kansas, and the world-renowned, most famous Majorspoilers.com. Hello, Steven.
Oh, hello, Scott. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
Nice to have you
Good to
here. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving.
We did. Did you do anything out of the ordinary?
No, we just go to my in-laws every year and just hang out there for a couple of days.
Yeah. And do you any uncomfortable conversations around the table or anything like that?
No, everybody's pretty laid back. My youngest likes sriracha sauce, right?
Yeah.
And my wife's family is from Thailand, so I had to multiple times hear, sriracha sauce was stolen by the Vietnamese from the Thai people.
Yeah. I bet that's a real controversy there. Interesting. That's like when Japan. Okay, that's interesting because my brother and two sisters are Korean. They're adopted Korean, right? And my brother in particular, who didn't come over here till he was 11, it was really pounded into him apparently that Japan's the worst because, they have a history. There's, wars in the past hundreds of years ago where Japan invaded Korea and enslaved a bunch of Koreans and stuff like that. So anytime it comes up, anytime anything positive about Japan comes up, my brother, especially at Thanksgiving, gets all grumbly about it. So if you'll go, yeah, we're getting a car. Oh, what are you getting? I was probably going to get the Honda there. And Matt will go, it's a Japanese car. That's a bad car. I'm like, Matt, it's a good car. You should get Hyundai. Get a Hyundai.
I never realized there was a feuding there. Wow.
Totally. There's a long, weird history with. I mean, they're good now as far as, international relations go. They're fine. But back in the day, Japan and Korea, not so much. Kind of a problem there. Anyway, well, Steven, having you here is always a treat and a pleasure. Today we're going to be a little bit different than usual.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the thing. I'll give the brief and then you give me the length here.
Okay, because this is really long.
Yowza.
Is Daryl on the show today?
No, he is definitely not. So that gives us a little breathing room. But the Department of Justice is the DOJ, the big Justice Department of the United States of America, is they are recommending that they want to end the United States versus Paramount decision from 1948. Now, there's a lot to unpack here. Thankfully, you are an expert of unpacking. Tell us what this is and why is it significant to nerds like us?
So, a couple of reasons. So, first, the history part, and this is where it gets a little lengthy. Prior to this decision in 1948, the Hollywood studio system was vertically integrated or horizontally integrated, depending on which way you want to define your ups and your downs. But vertical integration, vertical integration is essentially owning the means of production from creation to distribution. And so prior to 1948, the movie studios owned the studios, the distribution method, and 75% of all the movie theaters in the United States.
Yeah.
So the Lowe's theaters were MGM, Paramount, Fox, the Warner's theaters, so on and so forth.
Right.
And so the problem became they kind of had a stranglehold on the independent theaters as well because they used something called block booking. So if you wanted to, and this was started by Paramount, who did this, if you wanted the latest Mary Pickford movie to run in your theater, well, you had to buy a block of movies sight unseen. So that could be up to 104 movies per year that you as a theater had to purchase.
As an independent movie theater, you were forced down that road. There was no...
Right.
Okay.
If you want the Mary Pickford, because the fans want Mary Pickford or Charlie Chaplin or whoever was the popular ones before they split off and did United Artists, you had to buy these films sight unseen, which meant that really crappy B movies could be super profitable for the movie studios because they could crank something out for $20,000 and the theater had to pay it for, however much they paid for the movies.
Right.
So in the 1930s, the government was like, you guys are aware there's something called the Sherman Antitrust Act, right? I mean, we need to stop this practice of blind booking or block booking theaters. And the theaters were pretty good at getting into the pockets of FDR and said, hey, you know, we're in this Great Depression. If you break us up now, it's going to be mass layoffs. It's going to bring morale down because people aren't going to be able to go to the movies. So FDR gave them kind of a pass, but they did kind of say, okay, we'll cut back on our block booking and we'll knock it down to something like blocks of 5 or 10 that we will phase out over the next 2 years. Well, of course, a couple of years later, we're into World War II. And so all of this stuff ran up until 48 when the government finally said, okay, seriously, guys, we're taking the entire movie industry to court, the big 5 and the little 3. And they basically had to divest themselves of their movie theater chains.
Okay.
And so today, most movie studios have the studio, like Marvel Studios, but then you have your distribution company, which can also be owned by the studio. In this case, Marvel owns Disney. Disney owns Marvel, but Disney also owns Buena Vista, which is the distribution arm for all of the Disney movies.
Right.
Now, that being said, Disney does own the El Capitan Theater there in Hollywood. So they have one movie theater, but they don't have a movie chain.
And they use that for what? Special premieres and crap? Or I don't know even what they do.
Yeah. Special premieres, running their movies. And this is kind of looking at what El Capitan books is kind of can give you an indication of what might happen going forward. Now, the Department of Justice in this very lengthy link that I sent you is talking about how distribution methods have changed so much now that, and there are other movie theater chains like AMC, which are so large that we don't have to worry about these illegal practices anymore. And so they're recommending that, hey, we just, you know, let's take marijuana off the felon drug list and just let this return back to normal.
Oh, interesting. Can they just do that? Just go, all right. They recommend it, but who is it? Congress who has to do this? Is it?
No, it's the Department of Justice just says, okay, yeah, that's fine. We're not going to force this anymore. The Antitrust Department is not going to enforce this anymore.
Oh, interesting. I can't believe this has been in place since 48. That's nuts to me.
Well, and so really historically, this decimated the studio system because they lost all the profits coming in from the movies and they had to start being competitive with one another instead of MGM movies going to Lowe's or Warner movies going to Warner's. They really had to be competitive with one another. And you can suddenly see after 1948, Disney becomes this huge mega corporation starting in 1948.
Not only that, but you see everything changed for actors. And production people and everything else, because it used to be the way the studio system worked. It was top to bottom control the means of production. Like everything about it was, these are our movies, these are our theaters, these are our studios, and these are our actors. And you don't get to have your actor in your movie unless we make some sweet deal between us. Like that's a weird thing. Actors had really no agency.
Exclusive contracts. Now it's separate, and I could go into another discussion another time about how United Artists form, because essentially Pickford and Chaplin and what's the big hunky bow hunk of the day, they basically all said, you know what, we don't want exclusive contracts anymore. We are going to go and form United Artists, which became part of the Little Three with Columbia and I forget who the other one was. Columbia and Universal Studios were the Little Three majors. They had a different way of booking, but they all, 8 of them, MGM, Paramount, Fox, Warner Brothers, RKO, United Artists, Columbia, and Universal were all part of this lawsuit from the U.S. government for antitrust cases. And now I talked about this. If everyone's like hasn't fallen asleep yet, I talked at length about this 2 weeks ago on Finally Friday. I put on our YouTube channel is where it's archived, youtube.com/Major Spoilers video. The title of the Finally Friday episode is called Vertical Integration, and it talks about how the history of this and how this Department of Justice kind of recommendation could really change how we see movies. This week on Finally Friday, I'm going to probably go a little bit more into depth on some of the things that we're going to talk about next. And I stream Finally Friday, 4:00 p.m. Central Time on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Major Spoilers.
Nice. People should check that out. Yeah, but keep going.
So what does this mean going forward? There's 4 things that I kind of see in this deal. First of all,
predictions.
I kind of predicted that maybe Disney might put a bid in for AMC.
Okay.
Sometime in the next 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Which would be a huge deal.
Because now that's not off the table. That's a deal. That's a thing they can
Right.
do. Then they have the cash for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Disney is probably the biggest one, right? Because then that means that not only can Disney kind of control what movies are going into theaters, they get 100% of the profits.
Yeah.
Right now, it averages out that when you pay your $10 for a movie, I know it's higher or lower depending on where you're at, about 60% of it goes back to the studios. The other 40% stays at the theater, and that's on average. So there are some times where, like Star Wars, for the first week that Star Wars movie comes out, 90% of it'll go to Disney, 10% to the theater, and then over the adjusting weeks, it'll balance out to about 60%. You guys remember the Maleficent movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Remember
one? The
that it was
second
in
one or the
theaters for
first
a
one?
hot-
The second.
No, the second one, the sequel.
Yeah, it was barely. It was barely out.
Yeah, the one that just came out recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? That's up to the theaters to decide that, man, this is a flop. We want to get something else into our theater. Well, another benefit to this rule is if the studio owns their own movie theater chain, they can keep those movies in the theater longer and maybe force some profitability onto those movies. So, I remember that wasn't too long ago, 30 years ago, when that first remake of the Planet of the Apes came out. It was in our theater for like 6 months.
Yeah. Wait. That
So
was,
imagine-
you talking about the Tim Burton one?
Yeah.
Oh, that was only 2001. So it's
20 years ago.
18 years. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was in our theater for 6 months.
Wow.
And so you could see movies like Maleficent or other movies that the studios are trying to push and make profitable stick around in theaters for a longer period of time.
Interesting. That's
Now,
that's a
granted-
trend in general. They'd have to reverse because movies are in theaters a lot shorter than they've ever been. Right? Seems like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you read in that Department of Justice link, it says, hey, multiplexes have pretty much done away with anti-competitive practices because you can't force or a movie theater isn't going to have, all 8 of their screens running Maleficent, but they could have one of their screens for like 2 months running Maleficent.
Yeah. I'm starting to now see why the rule is in place now that you've described it this way. Because at first I was like, oh, all right, well, that's a dumb old archaic rule. Time to get rid of it. Studio system's long gone. But in a way, this like revives it. Like it puts it into a whole new category. And I didn't think of it that way. Yeah.
So you got profit number 1, 100% profit. You've got extended viewing number 2. Number 3, my third version of this, I think, is the most interesting. And if I were to now kind of modify what I said 2 weeks ago, I think the one that you need to look out for is Netflix buying the Alamo Drafthouse chain.
Oh, wow.
Because what is the problem? Idea. What's the problem that Netflix is having right now with movies like The Irishman?
Yeah. And there's a lot of opposition to those movies getting consideration for Oscar stuff because there's rules requiring theatrical runs and all that other stuff.
So now let's just say, and again, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but let's say Netflix says, hey, let's buy the Alamo Drafthouse chain. Now we have guaranteed booking for any of our movies that we want to put up for Oscar consideration, and no one can yell at us about it.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this idea.
So that might be a benefit.
No, well, it'd definitely be a benefit for them. The question is, what does this do to, like, we have this tower downtown called it's called The Tower. That's why I said The Tower. It's a movie theater that does small independent stuff. That's all they do. They're mom and pop operated. They're not part of some big mega corporation. What do they do? Maybe they do the same thing. Maybe this is already out of the purview of the big, big stuff.
Are they truly independent? Are they part of a, like a smaller movie chain?
They are 100%. As far as I know, The Tower and everyone who owns it it's totally independent. But I say that with some hesitancy because I guess I've never really checked, but I assume it's just locals. And it's been there since I was in high school. It's just this little place with like weird movie festivals that they do once in a while. It's all, real small independent films. It's where we would go to do
Nerdtacular?
No. What's the thing where you throw hot dogs at the screen and take spray bottles?
Rocky Horror
Picture Show. That's where we would do that on the regular and stuff. Although apparently the hot dog thing is unusual here, or not everyone does hot dogs. I don't know why that is. But anyway,
there's a number of smaller theaters, like Dickinson is a small theater chain, and the Mann theaters are a smaller chain.
Yeah, maybe okay. I say this thinking, oh, and the chat room just brought it up too, Dice Tomato. If this would lower physical ticket sales,
why would it?
Well, why? Here's the thing: people might say, well, since they're making 100% of the profit, they can lower ticket prices. They won't do that.
No, why?
No.
Now they have that 40% profit that they want, especially when. And so the weird part about this is, 3 or 4 years ago, the movie theater chains, and still a little bit rumblings 2 years ago, were kind of saying, hey, movie studios, you need to up your game because we're kind of not making the money we thought we would be making in these last couple of years, even though the Avengers movies made all movie theater chains profitable in 2017 and 2018.
Right.
But yeah, there would be no reason to lower the cost at all.
They're not going to do it out of the goodness
profit.
of their heart. They're not going to do that. What this does give them, though, is some wiggle room on promotional stuff. So if they want to go, hey, you want to do a membership? Ours is only this much, and they can undercut their competition because they own the theaters and have the space to move. They have the margins.
And that's where they have to be a little careful about anti-competitive practices, because that could literally reopen this whole antitrust problem. Is forcing smaller chains out of business. That's what they don't want to happen in this.
Yeah.
Here's the fourth real possibility of this.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a general anxiety on my part, something that's growing, but I really have not a fear, but I just lately have this real desire not to want to go to a movie theater because of crowds, because of people.
I have the exact same thing.
No, and it's not, it's just like being in a crowd of people. I just find it uncomfortable as all heck. And it's not because people run their mouths and chew their popcorn really loud and answer their phones and whatever. It's not that. It's just crowd situations. So I want to go see Knives Out. I want to go see The Joker in the theater, but I don't want to do it, and I don't want to deal with people.
Yeah.
I've been saying.
But is it like a social anxiety thing or just
so.
theaters? Okay.
I think it is, because I don't even like going to big, like if there's a big social gathering at work. I just don't like going to that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not. Steven and I are in the same boat. I'm the exact same way. And the last movie I saw before Knives Out in theaters was, oh gosh, my second viewing of Endgame.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a long time. So I don't know why that is, except it's not like I actively avoid it. It's just we don't like the hassle or the cost. And I'm currently not doing a pass thing, which I think makes it a lot simpler if you're doing one of those sorts of things. Like I think Brian's like the perfect guy for that pass, because he runs into his own. He runs into issues with people, sure, but for the most part, your love of catching all the Oscar bait before Oscars is a fun, cool thing to watch every year. And it seems like they just made that pass for you, like people like you.
It's a great, and you know what? We end up seeing stuff that maybe we wouldn't necessarily see because it's like, oh, I don't know, Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, this is we're taking a chance on this Honey Boy film. Oh my God, it was fantastic. And I'm seeing Jojo Rabbit on Wednesday. I know that's not like a big mystery that everybody's loving Jojo Rabbit. So I'm excited to see that one. But
we go to movie theaters like lazy Catholics go to church. You know what I mean? You go for Easter and you go for Christmas. Yeah. Yep. And that's what we do. We saw a movie on Thanksgiving and we're going to see another one on Christmas. And that's kind of, and there'll be exceptions, right? Like there was Marvel stuff coming and other things where you got to go. Those are the big event movies and you just end up going.
Right. So here's where I think things get really interesting. I think overall movie theater attendance is down, and if you look in the chat, everyone's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for it to come out on Netflix. Yes, I'm just waiting for it to come out on VOD. The problem is that VOD window is basically forced by the theater chains right now, who say, if you make this any less than 60 days or 90 days or whatever it is, we will stop showing your movies in the theater.
Yeah.
So now if you own the movie theater chains, the VOD window can be whatever you want. If Disney suddenly says, you know what, we're going to double up and we're going to make the first 2 weeks in the theaters, and then after that we're dumping our movies out on our video on demand service, our Disney Plus service, we'll do that and we'll make more money that way as well.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I think that's where it's going, is more for the VOD than those other three. But certainly all four of those in combination make movie theater chains very, very lucrative in the eyes of studios right now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I picture a bunch of them perched in some, some meeting room just waiting to pounce on this if this actually happens. Because right now it's a recommendation. That means it has to go through some process to get approved or officially taken off the table, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, there's going to be the Justice Department will say, okay, we've read this, we agree, we're just no longer going to enforce this. Just like right now, the federal government, if they wanted to, could enforce marijuana laws on states, and Colorado would be in trouble. But the government essentially has said, we're just taking a hands-off approach to this right now until we officially remove marijuana from the Class 1 narcotics list.
Well, and the current party in charge is always screaming states' rights, so that would be pretty counter to states' rights.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I think. That's kind of the parallel with this Department of Justice Paramount et al. 1948 case. So.
Yeah, but they don't have to. Ambassador Peanut doesn't have to sign anything or anything, right? We don't have to do that.
Although what's interesting, as I look into the history of this was originally started back in 2018, where they were like, we heard rumblings that the Department of Justice is going to make this recommendation. The recommendation didn't actually come until just a couple of weeks ago on November 22nd, that they made it official. I've gone back and was, again, in the course of really digging into this, how long has this been around? Back in 2010, a Variety article was basically saying, movie studios owning the theaters is beneficial because they can force the extended stay. You can shrink that window on VOD. It's just more beneficial that. On the other hand, Spielberg, like 7 years ago, was talking about how the movie theater going experience will be for these big budget movies where the movie will be in the theaters for months at a time, and you'll pay $35 to go and see a movie just like you might go and see a Broadway musical. Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
So I think, I don't think something's going to happen right away in 2020, right? But I think in the next 5 years, people are going to say, hey, wait a minute, how come all of a sudden Disney owns Landmark Theaters or Cinemark or whoever? Why did they suddenly buy this? Where is this? And now you have at least a 5-year window to say, hey, you were told this a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bet Disney is be the first one to make the play. Netflix would be the next one that I would bet would be looking to buy the Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah, I could see Amazon in that fight. That's a thing Bezos would get super jazzed about, even if he shouldn't.
Yeah.
Who else? Hulu don't care. Plus, there's a lot of.
Well, I mean, you've got Warner Brothers. I mean, Hulu's Disney.
Hulu is Disney.
All,
what's the word I'm looking for? They are basically Hulu, or they're basically
for
Disney
all
now.
intents and purposes.
Yeah. That's the word. Those are the words I was trying to find.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Disney owns Hulu outright 100% now.
Yeah, well, they have. I mean,
because it used to be owned, partially owned by Fox, but now that merger has come together, they own it 100%.
Right, but I think there are some other interests, and I know that there are interests that involve like content from other networks who have no ownership of anything, and those remain. So I don't know. It's different over there. I don't know how they do stuff, but yes, I think primarily that is a Disney piece of business. Yeah,
so I'm going to rehash this all again this week on Finally Friday, going a little bit more in depth on each of these options and why they might work or not work.
Yeah, I'm super, super curious to see how it all plays out. And I think you're a good source for it. In fact, I hadn't even heard about this until Stephen brought it up. So,
yeah, and it just crossed my radar like a month ago. And then when the DOJ released this last week, I was just like, oh, I got to talk about this because people may not understand why this is a big deal and what was going on in the theater and studio system prior to 1948. And of course, the 1-2 punch was the Supreme Court broke up the studios and then television killed the studios.
Yeah.
But people may not realize that this really has to do with choice and what movies you could see and what movies you couldn't see. And why so many really bad movies made their way into the theaters in the 1930s and 40s.
Drew Nelson in the chat said, use that old phrase, isn't this just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic? Like,
I don't think so. I think this is actually adding, an extra billfold into your pants.
Billfold. Are you my dad? How did you get in here? It's my dad, everybody.
I don't have a money clip.
Am I going to have to move my pocketbook?
Where's the ledger? I need to write this in my ledger. That's amazing. We'll put it in your Rolodex, and we'll hook up later. Anyway, hey, Stephen, this is great stuff. And remind everybody where they can get all this great content.
Sure. Majorspoilers.com is the website. Finally, Friday, I do live every Friday, 4 o'clock p.m. on twitch.tv/majorspoilers.
Nice. Steven Schleicher, everybody. Major Spoilers on Twitter as well, so follow him there. Steven, have a good day. We'll see you soon.
Stay hydrated.
Bye.
See ya.
Oh, he did the voice like you there at the end.
Stay hydrated.
If you guys find that episode of Futurama, it is so dead on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we found that. I need to go back and watch it.
So dead on. It's amazing. All right. Comes now the time of the show where we play a Monday morning mashup. And this is brought to you by our good buddy over there at TMS Mashups on Twitter. Jamie does an amazing job every week. He's got a Patreon as well at TMS Mashups. You guys should check that out. He does really good work. And this week is no exception. I haven't heard it yet, but I know it's going to be good. It's called, hold on, where's the name? Quid Pro Quo.
Great.
Ripped from today's headlines. Here it is.
But my window pane chode, Bill Gates.
My chode.
My chode.
Bot my chode. Bot my chode. Time to do show?
No.
Oh. You suck on those sticks all you want.
So I'm really quickly pulling up.
Do it with a spreadsheet. Gross.
So
Put it back up, buddy.
You got some kind of weird flap of skin or something going on.
Something.
That I don't have.
Weird skin flap.
Oh, so much better without that helmet on.
So sick of that helmet. I've had it on for years.
Hey, well, the true story of Christmas actually originated with the Huns. Attila the Hun actually used to wear a red hat. Got mistaken for Santa.
No, you've got to take the lap. You can't do a partial lap, George.
Did you take the lap?
Did you take the lap?
I took the lap, Jerry. I took the lap.
There was no time to take the lap, Jerry.
Isn't that Yoda?
He just smiled and gave me a Yodomite sandwich.
We have a lot of it here.
That's what snow is for.
Much of it is
in
here.
good times, in bad times. I'll be on your side forevermore.
Wow. And
there's a skeeter on my Peter, blow it off. And I don't know exactly where he got it from, but it always made me laugh.
There's a skeeter on my Peter, blow it off.
That's
Like
exactly
that?
how it went.
Okay.
That was it.
I just didn't know why it was so big. Now I know. You're a cow and I want out of this relationship.
No, but that would have been awesome.
Yeah. So I don't.
I'm
you're
about to give you up. I'm about to let you down.
I'm never gonna come around, and I'll hurt you if you do.
If I ever see you come around, I'll hurt you.
Cut a bitch.
I want nothing. I want nothing.
I love all these things.
I want no quid pro quo.
Anymore.
Tell Zelensky to do the right thing.
So wait, did you come up with that, or did we get that? Because I saw
No.
that somewhere. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
making
other
sure.
people were doing it, and I would have loved to have recorded my own version of that, because I think the guy who does the Morrissey sound alike in the video that did go viral doesn't sound like Morrissey.
I agree. I don't think he does at all. He screwed that up.
Yeah.
They should have hired you to do it. And by
I
hired,
would've
I
done
just
for
mean
free.
reach out and just say, "Can you do this for free?" And you would have done it.
I would have done it for free.
That thing went viral, man. That was a big one. That and the Ramones one. Those were the two big ones.
The Ramones one is so perfect too.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, there you have it. Now, a note of interest. Okay, I need a theme for this.
Okay,
let's do something good. Hold on. Even better than that. Let's try. I don't know what to play. Okay, I'll play this. I don't know why.
You said she was a pissmire.
Okay, you said she was a pissmire. I don't know why I played that.
I don't even know what that's from.
I don't even know what it means. Anyway, so we have a big announcement to make. It's not that big of an announcement, but we had so much fun on Friday with our charity drive. And by the way, thanks for all the generosity and people who donated. That was an amazing thing for a bunch of kids who need it. The guys at Heart Crate were humbled by your response, and that was awesome. We also had a lot of fun, and it turns out that stuff's a blast. So we have made a decision, an executive one. Not this does not involve Steven Seagal dying in the first 30 minutes.
We got Holly Berry to write this on her hand and hold it up to the camera.
Exactly. They're asking the total. We were pretty close to 3K, something in that range.
Yeah, we were 2,700 something, but there was still probably about 20 minutes to go when we got that number, so it may have gone up.
Probably gone up by now. Somewhere hovering around the 3K mark, maybe just below. It was very good. Worked out great. It's going to help a lot of kids. So anyway, my point was, so we enjoyed that so much that we had this idea. 1 week of every month, meaning like normally we do a TMSPM on a Friday, right? Mm-hmm. One of those every month, and sometimes it may alternate days, but we like the idea of, typically it'd be a Friday. We want to shake it up so that people who, are at work that time of day or something could be there. So once in a while we'd swap it with a Saturday or something.
Exactly.
Anyway, what we would do is a big Patreon party time, game time thing. And what did we call it? Patreon Playdates.
Playdate. Patreon Playdate.
Patreon Playdate or Patron Playdates.
Patron Playdate.
And here's how it would work. Everybody who's a patron of the show can come and get first dibs on games. And we'll play Jackbox games, among other things. But the Jackbox games just turned out to be perfect for what we were doing the other day.
Oh, it was perfect.
It was so good.
I mean, what we'll probably do is have some sort of patron sign-up thing that, number one, lets them know the date in advance so they can plan on it, where they can sign up and then get their name, their name on a list, and then we pull them in. Would we try and get them into Skype too, or is that too much?
Probably too much, but we definitely get them into the game without question.
Yeah, well, for sure, get them into the game.
And then Alex says he's got some queue system that'll work with Nightbot that'll let people just queue up. So
yeah, exactly. Well, we need to figure out a way to make it so that there was a way in Jackbox to password protect the game, so we give the password in Patreon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
And then and then have the queue system that Alex has to use it.
Yeah, and then if we're shy a couple spots in certain games, we pull from the chat room, which we could also queue people up for. The audience participation stuff, if you are never going to be a patron, that's still okay because you can still hop in and be the voting audience and all that stuff that we found the other day. But if you want to be one of the direct 6 to 8 players that we play per game or whatever, you'll be patrons. And that means that if you're in for $1, you're in. I mean, that's it. Like if you're a $1 patron, you're in. I think it'd be really, really fun. So
yeah, everybody can watch and listen, and if there's spots that are available, then you're in. But patrons get first dibs.
First dibs. Patron Playdate. That's right. Coming up. First one will be the 27th. Right? Yeah.
Yes, that is 4 Fridays from now.
2 days
from
after Christmas. Yep. A lot of people off work, a lot of vacation going on. So a chance for you to hop in there and have some fun. And even if all you're in for is just to come watch us be idiots and laugh and have a good time, I guarantee that. Like, that is guaranteed. As far as what time, we're thinking about 3-hour streams when we do these. Mm-hmm. And that means that we'd probably start at around 1 and end at 4 our time. So 1 p.m. The plan right now, 1 p.m. Mountain Time on the 27th. We'll end at 4 o'clock p.m. that night, which is right around when we'd end TMS PM anyway. Mm-hmm. So kind of fits nicely with the schedule. Anyway, it should be really fun, and we'll do it once a month and just have a blast with it and see how it goes.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, plus, it never hurts because running this show is a time-consuming, expensive endeavor, and we can use all the help we can get. So that's our thinking. Anyway, should be fun. Check it out.
Leninade asks, can someone patronize me with Patron instead? For sure. Yes, I'll sneak you in. I'll always sneak you in under the velvet rope if you patronize me with Patron.
I thought Patron was like a rapper drink. What is Patron?
It's tequila.
Oh, okay.
It's very good tequila.
All right. Yeah, you always hear about
messes me up.
We'll call it the Patreon Patron. Hey, Icor, any level. We don't care. We're not picky. So if you're not currently a dude, if you're not currently a contributor and you decide, you know what, I can only do $1 a month, that's cool. That'll put you in. That'd be fun. We might give priority to the higher ones. I don't know. We have to figure that out. Mm-hmm. Because we got to start the line somewhere. I don't know how we do that.
I was thinking we'd randomize it.
Yeah, maybe random is the way to go.
Yep.
That's a good point. All right. Very well. Very good. I'm very excited about it. 27th again.
I am
1
too.
p.m. Yeah.
We had such a blast. Man, the game that surprised me was that cruise ship joke telling thing.
Oh, that was so much fun.
I thought, all right, it's going to be whatever. It probably came up with some of the biggest laughs that we had.
100%. And I was really surprised how well it worked. I thought it was going to be, when I first started playing, I went, oh, well, this is categories, or this is freaking what's that other one? Mad Libs or something.
Yeah.
And it is in a way, but they took it and made an amazing twist out of it. It's very good.
Yes.
We'll play that more, of course. There's a ton we didn't even get to. We'll play those.
Oh God, yeah, I know.
Is it called Joke Boat?
Joke Boat, I think, is what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the captain. That guy's the man. Anyway, 27th, 1 p.m. Everybody, be there or be square. All right, that's gonna do it for the show. I have lunch today with Eric Van Skyhawk, who's in town.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's here seeing his parents.
Tell him I said howdy.
I will. Kim and I are going to meet him and his wife at this place called Sweet Lakes, which is this amazing new place in Draper, and have lunch. Very excited.
Oh, very cool.
Yep. And then later today, I have a lot of artwork to do today, and Dave wants to kill me.
3 interviews to listen to.
Oh, that too. Plus the tell us about. You know what? Well, give us a quick promo. How are things going there with that?
Good. So what's going to be going up on the feed today for America's Next Top Podcaster? Last week, you heard the judging and elimination episode for the, what was it? It was the edited interview week, which, we gave everybody some garbage audio and told them to edit and turn it into a podcast. So you're going to hear who got kicked off from that episode, their interview with Alex Albisu. Also, because that takes us down to the final 3, that means we've got another episode with me and Tom where we talk about our final 3 contestants and who's on the bubble, who we think is going to go all the way, and all that. So that'll be up on the feed tomorrow.
Nice.
And then hopefully, depending on Hammond's work schedule, we might be able to get the interviews that just got turned in yesterday onto the feed this week, and we might get stuff relatively caught up to present time.
Nice. Well, I'm going to judge the hell out of whatever happens tonight. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
All right. So all of that, look forward to it. That's going to do it for us. Patreon.com/TMS, by the way. It's how you can lock yourself in for our game thing and just to be nice and support the show. That's patreon.com/TMS. For everything else, frogpants.com/TMS. We're now going to leave, but not without a song. Brian, what is it?
Our song, this is not a request, unless you call it a request from me. I'm a humongous Kinks fan. Love the Davies Brothers and the Kinks and that 70s and 80s originations of Britpop and punk rock. Letters to Cleo, Boston band, who you might remember from Melrose Place, but still are awesome, and actually saw them out in concert in Boston a couple of years ago for Geek Bowl. They put out a brand new EP this last week called OK Christmas. I don't know if it's supposed to be like an OK Boomer thing or if it's just OK Christmas, that sort of thing. Anyway, on there is this great cover of the Kinks Christmas song, Father Christmas. Here are letters to Cleo.
All right. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
He has no pizza experience.
That was not supposed to play yet. Hold on a second. We'll see you tomorrow. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
He has no pizza experience.
There you go. That's the correct order.
No pizza experience.
You heard that whole interview by chance with Papa John?
Oh, no, hadn't heard that at all.
It's hilarious. I mean, we talked about it a little on Tuesday with Justin, but the gist of it is he's crazy. That guy is nuts. Listen to this. Listen to what he says here. Hold on. Where'd it go?